Hola clase! Today we're going to talk about E to I stem changing verbs. So make sure you have your E to I stem changing verbs note guide available and that you're filling it out as we go through the PowerPoint. All right, remember that stem changes occur in the stem of the verb, and the stem is everything except the ending. Now, not all verbs are stem changing. These three would be an example. Hablar, comer, and escribir. Nothing changes in the stem, but we do have the parts and pieces. The ending would be AR, ER, or IR, depending on the verb, and everything that is left over is called the stem. Remember that these verbs listed above do not have changes in the stem. All right, let's pause the video and fill in the first part of Part A of your note guide. You have already learned to conjugate E to IE and O to UE stem changing verbs. So here are a couple of examples. This comes from the verb empezar, which is an E to IE stem changing verb, and this verb comes from the verb poder, which is an O to UE stem changing verb. Let's look at the examples. La película empieza pronto. The movie starts soon. Yo puedo hablar español. I can speak Spanish. So these two verbs, particularly, are stem changing verbs. And finally, there are three types of stem changing verbs in Spanish. You have already learned E to IE and O to UE. The last and final one that we're going to talk about in this video is E to I. Pause the video and fill in the next part of Part A of the note guide. All right, so here are the two verbs you need to know that stem change from E to I. The first one is servir, to serve, and the second one is pedir, to order or ask for. I need you to memorize these two verbs and that they are E to I stem changing verbs. Pause the video. All right, for E to I stem changing verbs, the E in the stem will change to I in all forms except nosotros and vosotros. So remember, these rules are just like the ones from E to IE and O to UE verbs. And then finally, stem changing verbs have regular AR, ER, and IR endings in the present tense. You still need to conjugate them using the endings you have learned. So remember, if you have a stem changing verb, and if it's an AR verb, you still need to drop the AR and add back the appropriate endings to match the subject. So for an AR verb, it would be o, as, a, amos, an. Pause the video and finish up Part A of the note guide. All right, let's look at the verb servir, to serve. It is an E to I stem changing verb. So if you notice in all forms that it can, it will stem change from E to I. So if I'm drawing the shoe or the boot, like I did with the other types of stem changers, it will leave out the two forms that do not stem change, which would be nosotros and vosotros. So again, notice I'm drawing the shoe or boot, and it will go around those that do stem change. So the verb servir will change from E to I in the forms yo to usted, el, ella, and ustedes, ellos, ellas. So here we've changed E to I. We've dropped the IR and added O. Pause the video and fill in Part B of the note guide. You do not need to put this on your note guide, but I did want to show you pedir does the same thing. Remember, it is an E to I stem changing verb, and it means to order or ask for. So if we wanted to draw the shoe or the boot around those forms that change, it will leave out those forms that do not, which would be nosotros and vosotros. So notice the E has changed to I. We have dropped the IR and added O to match the subject yo. Okay? Practiquemos. Conjugate these E to I stem changing verbs. So notice for the first three, we're going to work with the verb pedir, and the second with servir. Okay? So the first one wants us to say, I ordered dessert with dinner. It gives us the yo form as the subject. We know that we do need to stem change E to I when yo is the subject. So we have taken the E out and replaced it with I. What you should write is PID. Now remember, when we conjugate, we must drop the ending. So we're going to drop the IR and we're going to add O to the ending to match yo's subject. Yo pido postre con la cena. Pause the video and fill in 2 through 6. Let's check our answers. Okay, do you ask for the menu? Pides tú el menú? Notice we have stem changed E to I, and we have also dropped the IR and added ES because tú is the subject. Okay, número 3. We ask for the check. Okay, notice we have not stem changed here because in the nosotros form, we do not change. So the E will remain. You do not need to replace it with the I. And because pedir is an IR verb, we drop the IR and add IMOS. Nosotros pedimos la cuenta. The next three we've used servir. Same thing here. Notice mis padres, el camarero, and yo are not the nosotros form, so we must change the E in all of these to I. Then we drop the IR and add the appropriate ending. En, a, o. All right. Write any questions you may have on your note guide and make sure you ask them as soon as class begins. There's going to be a 5-point mini quiz the next day at the very beginning of class. Please take the initiative to watch the video more than once in order to fully and completely understand the content covered and or to clear up any confusion. At this point, please make sure you fill out Part D of your note guide. Adios!